Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are talking about a huge shift that's happening as we speak, the AI search revolution. And look, this isn't just some new feature. It is a totally new playbook for how we find information, and maybe more importantly, how your business can actually stay relevant. If you're not paying attention to this, you're already behind. So, let's dive in.
You know how it is. You search for something kind of complex, and what do you get? That long, familiar list of blue links. And then you spend the next half hour, clicking tab after tab after tab, trying to piece together the answer yourself. But what if search just gave you the answer? A single, clean summary made just for you.
Well, guess what? That's not some far-off sci-fi future. It's here, right now. And this one change is moving so fast, it's rewriting all the rules for pretty much anyone who does anything online.
All right, so let's really break down what this search revolution is all about. Because at its core, this is a massive change in how we get information.
For decades, right? The whole game was simple. Get your website to the top of that list of blue links. But these new AI search engines, they're making that whole model obsolete. See, they don't just point you to information anymore. They pull it all together and give you a direct answer. And the takeaway here is absolutely critical. If your whole strategy is still about ranking on that list, you're playing a game that's already over.
And listen, this isn't just a Google story. Not at all. We're watching a whole new ecosystem of search engines pop up, and each one has its own spin on how to find answers.
And the landscape is already getting crowded. Of course, you've got Google building its AI overviews right into the main results. But then you have these new players like Perplexity, which is all about trust and giving you citations for everything it says. Then there's Grok, pulling in real-time social data from X. And of course, you've got global players like Baidu's Wensin Yan. The point is, this isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. Different engines are going for different angles, whether it's trust or real-time info or something else entirely.
So, the big question, how can these engines just know the answer? It feels like magic, but it's not. It's really a mix of being trained on a library of data the size of a planet, plus one really, really clever trick.
So it all starts with the training. You take a model like ChatGPT-3, and you basically have it read a giant chunk of the internet. We're talking everything from the massive Common Crawl dataset to tons of books and all of Wikipedia. This builds its brain. But, and this is a huge but, that knowledge is frozen in time. It has a cutoff date. It has no idea what happened 5 minutes ago, which, for a search engine, is a massive problem.
So how do they fix that? Well, this is the secret sauce. It's a technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. The best way to think about it is like this. If the first training phase was the AI studying for a final exam, RAG is like giving that same AI an open book test with a live, real-time internet connection. It's the bridge between the AI's static knowledge and what's happening right now.
And the process itself is surprisingly simple. Step 1, you ask your question. Step 2, the RAG system zips out onto the live web and grabs the most relevant, up-to-date info it can find. And finally, Step 3, the AI takes its massive base knowledge, combines it with that fresh info, and builds you a current, accurate answer, often with the sources right there. That's it. That simple three-step dance is how AI search stays relevant.
Okay, so this new technology, it creates a whole new strategic battlefield. The old rules we all knew, search engine optimization, or SEO, they're getting replaced by a totally new playbook.
I love this analogy because it makes it so clear. For years, traditional SEO was like trying to get your sign noticed in a giant library. Your goal was just visibility, right? To have the biggest, brightest sign. But with Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO, the goal is totally different. The goal is to be the book that the AI librarian confidently picks up and hands directly to the user as the answer. The entire game has shifted from just being seen to being the actual authority.
And this quote just nails it perfectly. The core of this new strategy of GEO is a huge shift. We're moving away from just matching keywords to actually understanding intent and generating the best possible answer. It's not enough anymore to just have the right words on your page. You have to provide the best, most complete answer to the real questions somebody's asking. Okay, so we get it. The world is changing. Now for the most important part. What do you actually do about it? Let's walk through a clear, actionable playbook that any business can use to stay ahead in this new era.
All right, the playbook has 3 main steps. First, you build your foundation. That means you got to unify all your company's internal knowledge, all those documents, all that data, into one single place an AI can actually access. You can't be seen as an authority if your own house isn't in order. Second, you master your content. This means creating stuff that screams expertise and is structured in a way that an AI can easily read and understand. And third, you publish it strategically. You need to get that amazing authoritative content onto the platforms that the AI engines already trust.
So what does that look like, tactically? Well, it means showing what Google calls EEAT: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. It means using super clear structure, headings, lists, that kind of thing. It also means using technical tools like schema markup to give the AI more context. And this is so important. It means you have to show up where the AIs are learning, on platforms like Reddit, Quora, and YouTube. Your expertise has to be part of the public conversation.
So, let's wrap this all up. Let's look at where this is all going and why jumping on this now is so incredibly important.
You see this number, 2 to 3 trillion? That's the number of tokens. Think of them as tiny pieces of data that some of these models, like Alibaba's Tangyi Chenwen, are being trained on. This isn't a small trend, folks. This is a tidal wave of data and computing power. The momentum is just unstoppable, and the scale is, well, it's hard to even wrap your head around.
And this right here, this is the ultimate takeaway. For years, your business, your website, it could just be a passive presence online, just waiting to be found. That time is over. To win now, you have to become an active feeder of information. You have to intentionally package and deliver your expertise directly to these new AI systems.
And that leaves us with one last question, and it's one you really need to think about. In this new world, you've got a choice. You can keep being just another blue link on a results page that's fading away, or you can become the trusted, authoritative source that actually powers the answers of tomorrow. Which one are you going to be?